Hi there, Radnor. My name is Molly Gallagher, and I'm the Radnor Township Public Information Officer. Today, I'd like to share with you a realistic view of the Radnor Police Department and specifically what it means to be a Radnor detective. The reality about detective work is it's not always as fun as it looks on TV. Yet in many ways, it's more exciting and challenging than you could ever convey on film. For this first part of our detective series, we'll hear from Lieutenant Joe Pinto and his colleagues as they discuss CSI, the Youth Aid Panel, as well as background investigations. I encourage anyone interested in a career in law enforcement, those longtime Radnor residents who just want to learn more about RPD detectives, or anyone interested in learning about some of the more challenging investigations being pursued by our hardworking detectives, to please check out this two-part series. Thanks for tuning in, Radnor, and please enjoy. We hope these educational series are just a small part of what makes Radnor one of the best places to live, work, visit, and do business on the main line.
Hi, I'm Joe Pinto, and I'm a lieutenant with the Radnor Township Police Department. Today, I'd like to introduce you to our police department, and specifically the detective unit here in Radnor. Our detective unit shares a very strong camaraderie, and because of their commitment to the job, they've developed a strong bond with one another, and they work very well together. Here at Radnor Township, our detectives specialize in a wide variety of areas to include crime scene investigation, evidence collection, narcotics, crimes against the elderly, background investigations, juvenile crimes, and electronic investigations, just to name a few. Today, I would like to introduce you to the detective unit and help me thank them for doing an unprecedented job during unprecedented times.
My name is Jamie Metzler. I am a member of the Radnor Township Police Department. I've been with the department almost 21 years now. I am in the detective unit. I'm also a firearms instructor, an active shooter instructor, and for 13 years I've been a member of the Central Delco SWAT team.
Can you share with our audience some of the safety programs you offer to the private sector, schools, and churches?
One of the things that we offer here in Radnor Township, myself and another officer in this department are trained in threat assessments. So we go to schools, churches, office buildings, and provide feedback on the security that they currently have in place and any changes that we think should be made or recommendations that we can make. Again, we go to churches, schools, office buildings. Anybody can get in contact with the police department, and those things can be arranged.
What is a typical 9-to-5 day for a Radnor Township detective?
One of the things I love about detectives is the versatility, and you never know what your day is going to bring. A typical day is when you first come in the morning, you review incidents from the day before, the night before, to see if there's any new investigations that must be conducted. You could be assigned a new case. There's certainly caseloads. Everybody has caseloads, former cases that must be worked on. That could encompass court time as well. But then we're always available if we need to drop everything and go out on an investigation. Typically there's a detective in the building from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. So during those times there's somebody in the building that can immediately respond to an investigation. And so you never know what your day is going to bring.
Jamie, how are you able to balance your SWAT schedule while also serving as a detective here at Radnor?
There are 5 officers in Radnor Township that are all on the Central Delco SWAT team. We are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Training consists of 2 days a month where we conduct various drills and training. We're always on call, and if we're able to respond to such call-outs, we do. We respond to search warrant, having to serve high-risk search warrants, barricaded subjects, any kind of high-level situations we do respond to. As a detective, I am on call my 1 week a month that I'm on call. The detective work here supersedes having to go to a SWAT job. But other than that, we are responsible to respond if able to.
Do you find the Radnor Police Department is supportive of your commitment to SWAT while also working full-time as a Radnor detective?
Radnor Township Police has always been supportive of everything that I personally have done in my 21-year career, as well as the other officers in this department. They are always receptive to any type of training that I need to go to or I'm asked to go to or that I propose to them that I would like to do. I've always been supportive. They've always had our backs with whatever we may need, whether from a detective standpoint or from a SWAT standpoint. We can't ask for anything more from this township. They've been nothing but supportive.
Can you tell me a bit about your personal story and what led you to a career in law enforcement?
So being a detective is something that I've always wanted to do since a very early age. I grew up in a police family. My father was a lieutenant with the Haverford Township Police Department in charge of detectives. So I would hear him talk about investigations. I would know that he would go out, get called in the middle of the night. He would then come home in the morning and tell me what he was out on, and I always found those things fascinating. So I knew from a very early age that's what I wanted to do with my career. But I wanted to go to a similar township, but I wanted to go to a township and make my own name and make my own career. So that's why I chose Radnor Township. Very proud department, very rich history, always had a great reputation within Delaware County and across the tri-state area. That's why I chose Radnor, and so glad the choice I made, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Okay, Detective, thanks for joining us today. Can you please share with us your name, your tenure at Radnor Police Department, and your specialty?
Okay, my name is Jim Santoliquido. I'm a detective with Radnor Township Police. This May will be 25 years I've been working with Radnor Township, and I've been assigned to the detective unit for the past 15 years.
Okay, great. And what led you to a career in law enforcement? What's your background history?
Well, I've actually been in law enforcement for 33 years. I've worked for a number of other police departments before I found a home here in Radnor Township. So always been interested in law enforcement, always been interested in helping people, and it's just something that I just think that every day can be different, and that's what keeps me going. And even after 33 years, I have to honestly say I still enjoy coming to work every day.
And then within detectives, do you have an area that you focus on or that you specialize in?
I primarily focus on a lot of juvenile incidents that come into the department. Right now, we have a youth aid panel. Superintendent Flanagan looked into this back in 2018, got it up and running towards the end of 2018, and it's yet another tool that we have that we can use, and it's beneficial to the community, definitely to the juvenile, and to the department.
Okay, can you talk to me a little bit about the youth aid panel in terms of the goals of the program? You mentioned it was designed for juveniles,
Yes.
but is there a juvenile in particular that would benefit from a program like this?
The program, I like to refer to it as a first time, one time. Okay. So it's a first time offender and it's a one-time offer. So the program, what it does is it's primarily based on anyone under the age of 18, and if they unfortunately have contact with the police because of maybe a poor decision that they may have made, and if it's for a summary or minor offense where they would typically get a citation for it, a ticket for it, or it can go up to maybe a little bit more of a serious offense like a non-violent misdemeanor, but that would be under review. We would take a look at that and see if it would be something where the child would benefit from the youth aid panel. The goal of the youth aid panel is we want to educate the child. It's not about punishment. We want to educate. We want them to learn and to help them make better choices, better decisions, so it doesn't happen again. And it's been, I have to say, a very successful program.
And then in your experience, when you share this opportunity with the child and parent, has it been your experience that they're relieved to know this is an option or grateful?
I have to say that a vast majority, if not every time I call a parent and explain the youth aid panel and offer it, I get a thank you. Thank you for this program. Thank you for offering this. We really appreciate it. And again, they're kids, they're juveniles, and to give them an opportunity, they make bad decisions sometimes. We get that, we all do, but this gives them a chance to not go through the criminal justice system, not have to go to court, not have to stand in a courtroom and wait for your case to be called, not have to go in front of a judge. So it just gives them a second chance.
Moving on to background investigations. Talk to me about your responsibility to the department for all background investigations, be it new employees, Radnor Police Department hires, fingerprinting civilians, as we just discussed, and I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, so the difference is, as far as hiring a civilian, typically all we're going to do is we will look and see into our computer system, see if we have had any contact with them in the past, anything that would show up that may be negative. And then I just pass that information on to whoever's going to be hiring, and they can make a decision on what they want to do from there. We would do a criminal history background, also making sure that nothing's going to show up that would be adverse for them being in the position that they're applying for. That's all we would do for as far as civilians go. Police officers is very much in depth. I mean, a background for a police officer, I mean, that could take us a couple of weeks to do, and because there is so much that is involved with it.
Why are these steps of investigation critical for our hiring process? Does it improve the candidate pool that we're hiring from? Does it improve the end product with your relationship with a new hire in terms of how you trust them? Why all the steps?
Well, most important, we want someone of very high integrity coming into the police department, and we want to make sure that we are not missing anything that's going to show that this person doesn't fit into that. We want to make sure that we're going to hire a person that is going to come to this organization, that are going to treat the public the way that they should be treated.
On a personal end of things, what do you love about working for a township like Radnor, or of all of your experience in law enforcement, how did you end up in a community like Radnor?
Well, I came from departments that were much smaller, and coming to Radnor, it's a bigger department from where I came from, and it offered a lot more opportunity. And one of the things I've always had an interest in was being a detective, and it offered the opportunity. And one of the things I have to honestly say in 25 years in being in Radnor Township is the support that we get from the community, definitely from the administration, from the police department, and from the commissioners. We've always had the support. We really have. And that makes it a lot more enjoyable to come to work.